Hello and welcome to Select 10. In today's video, we'll round up some of the top 10 new movies that have recently been released on Netflix, Amazon Prime, and Disney+. To ensure you don't miss any of the fantastic new action, horror, or comedy movies we've picked, make sure to watch the full video. Also, let us know in the comments how many of the films on this list you've seen and which one you enjoyed the most. Now let's start the video. Number 10. Hellraiser. It is a 2022 supernatural horror film directed by David Bruckner. The plot centers on Riley, a young girl who is battling addiction and unintentionally finds herself in control of a historic mystical artifact that has the power to call the Cenobites, a society of savage mythological creatures from another world that seek the blood of living things. What happens next is a violent series of contacting mysterious life forms that prefer to act as God by murdering anybody whose life is cut short by the blade within the mystical artifact, forcing Riley and her boyfriend to deal with its horrible consequences. It is a remake of the original movie of the same name, as well as the 11th film overall, but you do not need to see the previous titles to enjoy this one. Despite not being a completely satisfying remake, Hellraiser still offers enough gore and jump scares to keep horror movie lovers entertained. And the film has a 6.1 rating on IMDb and a 61% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. Number 9. Medieval. It is a 2022 historical drama film directed by Petr Jákl. The plot occurs in the 14th century when the Holy Roman Empire is in disarray after the passing of its ruling king, while rival siblings, King Wenceslas of Bohemia and King Sigismund of Romania, fight for control of the vacated throne. The major plot revolves around the military commander, Jan Eicke, who is ordered by House Boris to capture the wealthy Lord Rosenberg's bride, Lady Catherine, in order to stop Rosenberg from seizing leadership with the dishonest King Sigismund. However, when Lady Catherine becomes entangled in a deadly game of politics between the kings, Jan vows to strike back with a rebel army to combat the dishonesty, greed, and treachery that are common among those fighting for power. To be honest, the story didn't really have much of an impact, but it had some interesting twists and some really intense action scenes that helped to spice up some of the movie's duller scenes. The main draw of the film is its action, so don't anticipate much from the plot. And the film has a 6 rating on IMDb and a 72% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. Number 8. Some Like It Rare. It is a horror comedy movie directed by Fabrice Eboué. The story centers on Sophie and Vincent, a strange couple whose little steakhouse is on the edge of failure and whose relationship is breaking apart. But when Vincent unintentionally kills a vegetarian activist who had damaged their store, their worlds are flipped upside down. Upset and scared of being charged with murder, their only option is to dispose of the body, so he chops it up, and Sophie sells the flesh by mistake, converting it into meat. But to their amazement, their customers enjoy the meat, and it has become so well liked that it just might save their store, but only if they're prepared to murder more people to meet the increasing demands of their clients. It's an astonishingly successful blend of slapstick comedy and sharp dialogue, making it a top-notch, terrifyingly dark comedy film of 2022. If you enjoyed the recent 2022 film, Fresh, consider this one to be an improved version of it. And the film has a 6.8 rating on IMDb and a 78% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. Number 7. Rosaline. It is a 2022 romantic comedy film directed by Karen Maine. It is a new and hilarious take on the timeless Shakespeare romantic story of Romeo and Juliet, told from the viewpoint of Rosaline, Romeo's former love interest and Juliet's cousin. The story revolves around Rosaline, who is devastated after Romeo abandons her after seeing Juliet and begins to seek her. The film takes a fresh look at the classic love story, with Rosaline plotting to sabotage Romeo and Juliet's relationship in order to win back her boyfriend. In short, it's a humorous modern edition of a story that has been told frequently before, but perhaps not from the ex-girlfriend's perspective. It's a charming film that's beautifully comedic and romantic, which only aims to make you laugh, and it clearly works. And the movie has a 6.4 rating on IMDb and an 81% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. Number 6. Accident Man, Hitman's Holiday. It is a 2022 action comedy thriller film directed by George and Harry Kirby. The story focuses on Mike Fallon, a killer who excels at making his murders appear to be accidents, and a visitor at the Oasis, a bar for killers. The main plot picks up after the events of the first movie, when Mike is required to defeat the world's greatest assassins in order to defend the selfish son of a mafia boss, alongside protecting the life of his soul buddy and rebuild his ties with his crazy father figure. This could appear to be a low-budget action comedy, but it's not. It is a great combination of belly laugh-inducing humor and the best heart-pounding intense action that will keep you thoroughly entertained. Simply put, it is a hardcore action film with an enjoyable storyline. And the movie has a 5.8 rating on IMDb and a 93% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. Number 5. Deadstream. It is a 2022 horror film directed by Joseph and Vanessa Winter. The film concentrates on Sean, a renowned online star known for posting videos appearing to be about him undertaking stunts to face numerous challenges. But after one of his videos sparked a controversy that cost him his sponsors and a sizable portion of his fandom, he became determined to build his fan base again and secure his new sponsor. Sean intends to broadcast himself staying the night in the allegedly cursed Death Manor, where many individuals have been reported to have died. However, bizarre events begin to occur when he unintentionally angers Deadly Ghost, turning his comeback into a live battle for his survival against the evil spirit of the home and her own ferocious army. The live feed style may turn off a few horror lovers, but believe me, it's worth watching even if you're not a fan of the discovered footage genre. It's a fantastic one-of-a-kind film that will not disappoint you. And the film has a 6.7 rating on IMDb and an 83% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. Number 4. Lou. It is a 2022 action thriller film directed by Anna Forster. The film is set in the 1980s on an isolated Pacific Northwest island and follows the story of a woman named Lou whose calm life is disrupted when a distressed mother requests her to save her abducted daughter. Without a choice, and as a thunderstorm rampages, the two women work together and put themselves in danger on a rescue operation that will push them to their breaking point and reveal shockingly hidden truths about their past lives. Lou is a tense, suspenseful story with interesting settings and compelling characters portrayed by Allison Janney and Logan Marshall. Throughout the film, there are some frightening surprises that keep the viewer's attention hooked. It's not a masterpiece, but it's a good weekend watch. And the movie has a 6.1 rating on IMDb and a 62% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. Number 3. The Greatest Beer Run Ever. It is a 2022 war comedy drama film directed by Peter Farrelly. The film is based on the true experience of Chickie Donahue, who wishes to demonstrate support for his childhood buddies in the military who are serving in Vietnam. Chickie Donahue pledges to go alone to Vietnam and deliver the troops their beloved bottles of American beer. However, what began as an innocent expedition suddenly becomes the experience of a lifetime as Chickie faces the true realities of war, and his meetings with his childhood friends push him into the difficulties and consequences of life. It is a touching story about brotherhood, loyalty, and hardship, with a mix of humor and sorrow that will surprise you with its immensely entertaining plot. And the movie has a 6.8 rating on IMDb and a 91% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. Number 2. Werewolf by Night. It is an horror drama special directed by Michael Giacchino. The story centers on a mysterious group of monster hunters who, after the loss of their founder, rise from the darkness and assemble in the frightening Bloodstone Castle. In a weird and gruesome tribute to their leader's life, the guests are forced into a lethal battle for a powerful object, and they start a hunt that will eventually bring them head-to-head with a terrifying creature. This film incorporates elements from classic gothic horror movies and attempts to generate a feeling of fear and the bizarre, while providing plenty of suspense and chills along the way as we get to experience a brand new territory in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's a frightening, vintage horror film that will keep you on the edge of your seat. And the movie has a 7.4 rating on IMDb and a 92% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. Number 1. MK Ultra. It is a 2022 psychological thriller film directed by Joseph Sorrentino. The movie is set in the 1960s when the CIA ran their covert, unauthorized human testing operation, MK Ultra, a kind of mind-controlling drug. The main story follows Dr. Ford Strauss, a psychiatrist who is seeking to get clinical LSD trials allowed, but his ethical and academic boundaries are tested when he is asked by CIA operative Galvin Morgan to run a subgroup of the experiment in a rural Mississippi psych facility. As he executes the tests on drug abusers, Dr. Strauss becomes suspicious of Agent Morgan's motives and unravels an enigmatic conspiracy concerning the use of psychoactive drugs and other mind-altering chemicals on American citizens. MKUltra is an intriguing story about a government agency that goes too far. It's a little too dark, unsettling, and engrossing, so it'll keep you wondering for a while after it's over. If you enjoy military mysteries, deep psychological thriller dramas, you will enjoy this film. And the movie has a 6.7 rating on IMDb and a 98% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. That's it for today. Thank you for watching this video. And do subscribe our channel to see more videos related to movies and series suggestions.